What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to be doing some more work on the suspension setup on the 08. I'm going to get the drop carriers fit up 100% so they work. I'm going to pick up a welder machine, Milder 252, so I can get my front 4-link bars completely made up. I'm going to get the front end jacked up, set approximately right where I want to have it set height wise. That way when I'm making my full length bars and everything is exactly how it needs to be. We don't have to remake or readjust later on when we do our final install. So with that being said, let's jump into it. Alright, so you can see here I have just a rough mock-up of exactly how these are going to go together. I'm going to have to fully weld all of this yet. I did just a little stitch welding on here just to hold this one together with my flux core 110 welding. I'm going to come in here with the 208 machine, the Miller 252 that I'm going to pick up here in a little while. And we're going to fully weld inside of here on both sides and on the bottom side as well. And then these pieces are going to come in. This will get welded in here fully down and around. This gets welded out and around as well. This will get welded out and around as well. And this will get fully welded up. And then on the other side, after I have my axle and everything in position, and this one is threaded right now. That's gonna get cut off, obviously. This is just a piece of pipe that I had. This will go in here, this will get fully welded out, and I'll have my 4-link bars. So this is one of the front 4, but I can't cut it to length, whatever the length needs to be. I can't cut to length until I get the front end jacked up, I get it mocked up exactly where I want it to be height wise, and then go from there. So stay tuned and we'll get set up and get started. Alright guys, so we have the passenger side all completely bolted in, all holes are drilled, bolts are all in, everything is up in place. Driver side is up in position with 2 bolts holding it in right now. I'm finishing drilling out all of the rest of the holes into the frame so we can get the driver side completely mounted. And then after that, then we will be able to start getting some measurements to get our 4-link bars built, and hopefully probably next weekend get everything put in a rough term. Won't be a permanent install, but we can get everything put in and make sure everything is going to work, create our steering, and then move forward from there. So let's go take a look real quick and we'll see where we're at. Alright guys, so as you can see, I have the driver or passenger side, up in position. If we look up in here, all of the bolts bolted in, everything is good, ready to go. I'm working on the driver's side right now. Once I get that all done, I have to make a cross member this week to go from side to side, and then we're gonna make our connection to the front end. We're gonna get the axle side welded up on 4 4-link bars. welded so the bar will be long. It will be made long for right now until I get the front end up in position where I want it, and I know that my length is going to be correct. I can then cut them and weld on my heims and have the front length bars all ready to go. I have brackets that are gonna go on the bottom of the coilover right here for this one for right now. That's going to utilize the coilovers I have in it until I get my 14s rebuilt and get those put in. So I'm gonna lift the front another 5.5 inches with those brackets and these coilovers, the FabTech coilovers that I have in it right now. I am going with FOA coilovers, front and rear. I've already talked to FOA here in town. They're gonna get on the build with me here a little bit and try and get this thing on coils all around so I can get rid of all of that mess. So it'll clean everything up, it'll open everything up. Should be nice. So let's go take a look real quick at the driver's side. All right, so here we are on the driver's side. As you can see, I am currently drilling out all of the bolt holes through the frame rail. Still have these 3 to do here. Got a transfer punch, that one up in the top corner. Finish drilling that one out, and then I'll have to do those also. 2, 3. And then I gotta finish doing a little bit of modifications to the bracket itself, and we'll get it bolted up, final assembly for, I guess not final assembly, but final install for the moment to do all of our mock-up purposes. So these are gonna live on here for a little bit. Unfortunately, this is my daily driver right now also, so I got to work with what I can, and if I keep taking them on and off, I'm just losing a bunch of time every day when I'm trying to work on this. So they're gonna live here for a little while. So let's get some more work done and we'll come back. All right, y'all, let's get a quick recap on everything that I've done. It's not gonna look like that much work, but with drilling and doing all of the final detail work on the drop carriers themselves, plus having, dad responsibilities, taking care of the little one and stuff like that this weekend. I didn't get as much done as I thought I was going to, but that's okay. So we'll do a recap on what we did get done, go over what we are going to do progressively this week. Hopefully I can try and get the lower coilover mounts, the new ones that I made, attached to the axle and get that in place. And that will give us the ability to get our length put in position for the new 4-link bars and stuff like that. I do have to make new steering components as well. I have the heim joints to be able to do that. And then we'll try and get all of that buttoned up in the next couple of weeks. I think that shouldn't be a problem, honestly. And then we will get more heim joints in and start working on the back. We'll do just the track bar portion of it for now, and then the 2 upper link bars that come together that make the triangulated 4-link, we will do those at a later point in time after we get the front and rear coilovers from FOA. So again, I will be working with FOA on this build. I went and talked to them, I already mentioned, and they are willing to get on board with us a little bit here. So let's go take a look and see what we've got, and we'll get back. Okay, so we've already gone over the passenger side. You've already seen it mounted up in here. I have the driver's side mounted up in here. I have my measurement to make my cross member that's going to go in between them. I will make that probably this week also and try and get that all mounted so we are solid. So then we don't have any issues with any twisting or bending or any problems at all with the frame rails from pressure or anything like that. We're gonna make this thing as rigid and solid as possible. And then after we are done with that, I made these brackets right here, short term. These are going to bolt in up here where those current lower coilover brackets are at, that mount onto the factory coil spring perch. Mounts down there, right on the top of the axle there. So this is going to replace that one that I have there until I get my FOA shock so I can get the front end up. I will have to extend my sway bar end links on both sides. I have my current new design designed for the axle truss slash panhard bar mount. So that's gonna all change. That bracket up there will have to change because it's going to have to move back now so it's parallel to the top of the axle. And then with that, I will probably be adding for the dual stabilizer, dual steering stabilizer bracket into that somehow. I don't have that 100% figured out yet, but that is something that we will be adjusting as well. Let's move over to the driver's side real quick. You can see I've got the driver's side bracket is all up in place, all bolted up and in. I've got wires hanging right now that I need to come back through and get all of that buttoned up. Excuse me, but that'll be not tonight. Today is pretty much a wrap for me. So we're gonna get the front end brackets, the lower coilover bracket that I have right there. We're gonna get that in this week. I have to make I have to extend my jack stands from my truck, because obviously I have just a few sets of the smaller jack stands. I don't have any of the bigger jack stands yet, so we're going to change that. We're going to make it one of those sets of the smaller jack stands set up for the big truck. I've got my front drive shaft out already, so that way I don't have to worry about dealing with that. I will have to take off that limit strap right there so I can lower this down, because that limit strap will limit out before I can get the coilovers back in with the new setup that I'm putting on it. So I'm gonna have to take that off. We'll get new ones of those after I get everything established height-wise and be able to determine my exact length that I want and all of that, so that way I'm not buying multiple sets. Once we get the new 4-link bars in back to here, we will be taking this out. This cross member will be getting changed out because we will be clocking the transfer case. And I'm going to work on finding a company that will extend my drive shaft. Right now I have a 2-piece drive shaft. I'm going to take this joint right here where the slip yoke is attached to, and I'm going to put that into that joint up there, eliminate that section, and add, or well, they'll have to replace this too, because you can't just add to it, but they'll have that replaced to go up to there. The shop that I went to here, local next to me, that everybody recommends, told me that they could not do it. So that was very discouraging, because everybody tells me that they're the best in the town, but they tell me that they can't extend that drive shaft for me. So I'll have to find somebody that can. Other than that, I think that's about where we're at for right now. We should be getting quite a bit of progress done this week, I think. Everything is going to stay raw. As I mentioned, this is my daily driver, so I do have to keep it operable. I can't just tear it apart and leave it blown apart for a couple of weeks. So we'll keep progressing forward as we can, and I'll check back in with you. All right, so with all of that, that's going to wrap up this video. It's not going to be very long. It's fairly short, honestly. I think I got a little bit of footage with the GoPro of me trying to get some work done underneath of the truck, and then checking in back and forth here and there with you on my phone, because I did fill up all my memory on my SD card. So I'm gonna go through all that, get everything put together. I'll try and get this video dropped here shortly for you guys. As you can see, I got a little bit of progress done. It's not as much as I had hoped, like I said before, but it is what it is. But we'll check back in, we'll get some more progress done. Make sure you like, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell if you do want to stay updated on all the progress that we are getting done. I'm just trying to get some of this suspension stuff mocked up into place and ready to go with the new steering and everything, and then we're going to jump back into the center console build. I got quite a bit of work left to do on that center console build as well yet, but I have some nice days out. I'm trying to capitalize on this time that I do have to be able to get some of this work done on the truck. So stay tuned. Like I said, like, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can get notified when we post a new video. Share it to your friends, family, whoever, if you would like. If you think they would be interested in what we got going on, it would definitely help me out. I'm trying to grow this channel, only doing work on my two vehicles right now that I have, mine and my wife's, I should say. But you know, I would like to continue to keep doing this, and you know, maybe make a full-time gig out of custom builds, so on and so forth. I will be adding powder coating to the channel here shortly. I've got some of the steel to make a bigger oven. I've got my sandblaster all hooked up, ready to go. I've been doing a little bit of sandblasting with that right there. And then right now all I have is just that small oven, so I can only do some small parts right now. So I'm gonna get a little bit of powder ordered for the wife's build, so we can try and get some of the smaller stuff for that done. But all of the big stuff I'm not going to be able to get done yet because my oven isn't big enough, unfortunately, and we're going to try and do all this in-house. It's what we're trying to do. We want to be able to do this as a full-time gig. I want to be able to do this as a full-time gig. We do have merch, MCK Inc. I have the website almost done. I will be able to get all this stuff loaded up on the website here shortly. I do have hats, I do have socks, I do have shirts, and we are working on a summer line to drop before the summer hits, so stay tuned for that also. So thanks for sticking around, watching this video, and we'll see you later. All right guys, so we were able to get quite a bit done today. Still obviously have more to do. There's quite a bit more to do, realistically. I'm gonna keep pushing to get everything done as fast as I can, obviously within reason. Both axle trusses are welded out. I have just a little bit of work to do on them both. Brackets are done. Jack stands are fully welded. What else? Most stuff is sanded down, prepped. Unfortunately, I'm gonna be running it raw here for a little bit, so I'll probably be spraying WD-40 on it, you know, relatively often to keep it from rusting out on me while I'm doing that. I'm only doing that because I want to be able to test it, basically make sure everything is going to hold up, no issues, no binding, rotation, articulation, all of that is going to be good. So let's go take a look real quick and see what we got. So here's our stack of truck parts. I only have one link bar welded up. I'll get the rest of those welded up tomorrow. This is the front truss with the panhard or the crossover link up to the frame. Rear axle truss. Right there is where the coilover is going to mount on either end. The triangulated part of the forelink to the rear end comes off of here up to, I don't know if it'll zoom in on that. Yeah, it's gonna go up to the top bar right there, and then that'll triangulate into there, and then the bottom one goes straight down to the back. Sorry, get it back in focus here. Goes straight back to the rear axle. So this stuff's all welded up. Like I said, I got just a little bit of work to do to it yet, nothing major. I gotta finish sanding all of that stuff, obviously. Get inside of here, get all that sanded out. But we're getting there. Shout out to Milwaukee again, as always, killer power tools. Is doing rough grinding with Diablo grinding flapper wheels, and then coming back in with 80 grit on the pad here with the trusty battery operated Milwaukee grinder, and getting everything sanded up nice and smooth. So then I'll head over to the DA afterwards, get a full DA finish on everything so everything matches. That way when we do get everything painted and powder coated, it all looks the same. So that's where we're at. I'll show you guys these two. Got these fully welded out. Big boy jack stands. Since we're building big trucks, we got to have big jack stands, because that little thing, I can't even get that under my axle to touch with the wheel and tires on it. 40s aren't even that big. It don't even look that big on 40s, I guess, unless you compare it to a 5-inch on 35s. Yeah, maybe it is, I guess. So I should have the rest of the parts for these done and ready to use this weekend. I'm gonna get the rest of the forelink all welded up and ready for this weekend, obviously minus the heim joints. Like I said, I'm still gonna leave these long until I get the truck up on these jack stands level where I want it, and get my measurement from where my top mount is going to be for the front coilover down to the lower perch onto the axle. When I get that measurement correct, then I will set those rear axles on jack stands, regular jack stands. Block up the yokes for the front and the rear, and make sure that they're centered, obviously, within the wheel wells. And then I will create my forelink for the front end. For the rear end is going to be just track bars momentarily until I get my FOA coilovers. Once I get the FOA coilovers, then the rear end leaf springs will come out, the bags will come out, and the triangulated bars will go back to the rear axle. So yeah, we're getting there. Hey babe, say hi. Are you camera shy? Mm-hmm. Running away. So anyway, that's where we're at. We will be trying to get a bunch done this weekend. I'm going to probably call this video an end. I'll get all this footage edited and posted so that way you guys can see where I'm at. And after this weekend, I will probably do another short video just so that way you can kind of keep up with where I'm at, and we'll progress together. So I don't know that I'll have everything in the front end. I probably won't have everything in the front end done, because I won't have the front end done at all this weekend, because I do have more parts that I need to cut out on the water jet yet. I need the frame side for the panhard bar. I need that mount made yet. So I won't have that until next week. I'll get that cut out next week. So stay tuned. All right, guys, with that being said, we're going to end this video. If you like what we're doing so far, please subscribe to the channel. You can leave comments, turn on the post notifications, so that way when we are posting more videos, you guys get a notification right away. It will help me grow this channel if you do that, because it will put me into the better algorithm, and it will bring you guys more content as soon as we release it as well. So like, share, again, subscribe if you can. If you don't want to, I understand, it's cool, but as I said, it does help me out. And with that being said, we'll see you later.